Hey, so over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about different touch points that we can be including in our customer insights strategy. And really that's creating a two-way dialogue with our customers, prospects, consumers, stakeholders, those types of things. And we've been getting into some of the specifics that we do. I got a couple questions though that I want to address. So I want to take a minute and step back here. Two different questions that I got. One, how often should we be reaching out to our customers, or how often should we be doing these surveys, right? Should we be doing it twice a year, once a year, those types of things? So I just want to answer this and make sure that it's crystal clear what I'm talking about. There are so many opportunities to do research and connecting out, and so many answers that can be done in the market research space, right? We can be doing things for product development and pricing and all sorts of marketing effectiveness, lots and lots of different things. What we're talking about today, or this series that I'm doing here, is really around, and when I say creating a customer insight strategy, a lot of the things that I'm talking about is when all around creating a relationship and a two-way dialogue with our customers. I mean, even prospects, but really this is about getting to know people and creating a relationship with them. And so this is not a ad hoc, we've got this business issue and we need to be sending out a survey, or we need to be figuring out what's happening out to the general public, or those types of things. This is focused on this specific area that we're talking about, of creating a relationship with your customers and using research and insights to strengthen the relationship that we have. So just want to be very clear about that as we're coming in, finding out, having lots of touch points with them and where they are. The second thing that will lead into when should we be doing this, because on the first one, when you should do it is very dependent on the project that you have going on and what's happening there. But though the second piece that I want to mention is, if what we're doing is trying to create authentic relationships with our customers and keep for retention and long-term loyalty with them, what we need to make sure that we're doing first and foremost is outlining what the ideal relationship looks like. So we need to map out, what does that ideal relationship with our customer look like? How often are they purchasing from us? Are they having service opportunities with us? How often do we want to be communicating with them? Do we want them to feel part of the family? Do we want these different pieces? Once we've identified that clear objective, what we want that relationship to look like, it's going to make it easier for us to be mapping out how often we should be having touch points along the way. The second thing, so one, mapping that out. What do you want them to know, feel, and do after having worked with your organization or your product and having that? The other thing that is really beneficial, so it'll help us figure out when we should be and how often we should be mapping that. The second thing is, this is now going to be able to help us figure out what ideally we want to have happen. Then we're going to be measuring what that experience or what's going on, and we can figure out where the gaps are, right? So if we're out here and we're measuring, I know I've talked about this before, but I just think it bears repeating. If we're measuring overall experience and satisfaction, and we're getting these numbers over here, what are we benchmarking against? So let's make sure that we've mapped out what we want that relationship to look like, having those touch points on there. So I will continue down the path of offering suggestions for certain touch points that can be along the way, but I wanted to make sure that I step back for a minute and just remember, this is about putting your customer at the center of the business, creating a relationship with them, which then we can open the lines of communication and have longer term loyalty with them, and then they're going to be helping you with building out the future of your business, products, services, those types of things.